Hello, everyone. This is your favorite doctor of education, here to share another video, actually the second one for my channel, Take the Meat, Spit Out the Bones. So you're my meat eaters, so you love education research because this is what this channel is about, sharing education research, talking about it, brainstorming, sharing how we can change things in the education realm. And there's going to be lots of meat, right? But then you can spit out some of the bones because, you may be like, oh, okay, I don't need this. I don't need to know that. But please watch every video and please like, share, and subscribe. So today, what I'm going to be talking about is why I love education leaders. Now, who's an education leader? An education leader could be a superintendent, a director, a head of school, a principal, an AP. It could be an instructional coach, teacher leader, dean. Sometimes the secretaries are the education leaders in the building because some schools, the secretaries are running everything. So also could be counselors too, because sometimes they take on ed roles in some schools, sometimes school psychologists, or anyone who have led like educational change in a birth to grade 12 school. So definitely I'm talking about birth to grade 12, right? Not necessarily higher ed. Why I love these people? Because they're underpaid, undersupported, under-resourced, just like teachers, right? They should be paid double the amount of money that they're working because their job is endless. They are constantly making tough decisions, multitaskers. I mean, I remember one time I was in a meeting with a principal. He had his iPhone, well, the Apple Watch. He had his cell phone, looking at that, looking at a computer while talking to me because I was there to coach his teachers. They are constantly making tough decisions in the school. They have to think about the big picture. They're under a lot of stress and a lot of scrutiny too, as well, because they're constantly made to, change scores, change school environments, change school culture, improve the scores of the building, right? And this is endless amount of hours that they work. They're constantly working. Like, let me tell you, sometimes there are principals, because I work, in the morning very early and up to, late at night. There's some principals emailing me at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, hold on. Oh, and then I all of a sudden look at the time and I'm like, hold on, it's 5 o'clock. Why are you up? Right? Because clearly I just emailed you too, right? So it's also a very lonely job as well because sometimes they're the first ones in. I've heard of a principal going into her school at like 5:30 in the morning. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And I'm like, wow, you were there at 5:30 in the morning. And then there's some principals who leave sometimes at midnight. Endless hours, but it also can be a very lonely job where you're under a lot of scrutiny from the parents, from the kids, from the teachers, from your district, from your superintendent, and you feel like you have no one on your side. So, and then you're the one making really a lot of the decisions in the building, right? So if something goes wrong, it's always you to blame, right? So they're the first one in, last one out. They're master organizers. They have to organize schedules, classroom materials, classrooms, spaces, furniture, people's schedules. I mean, everything. Sometimes you have multiple schools in one building. You have to organize that. Who goes to lunch when? Who gets this prep or special period? Or who has coverages, like constantly doing coverages when teachers are out in the morning, right? And they are always constantly learning new platforms, new curriculum, new systems, right? Like some school districts, some, places, they change a curriculum every year, right? And then, they're told to do this, or, they may choose something, like they choose something one year and it doesn't work out. And next year they choose something different. So they have to constantly learn new curriculum, new systems, right? And then they have to teach their teachers how to do this as well. Also, ed leaders can make $1 out of 15 cents with their budget. My goodness, they're pulling money from here, there, just to make everything work in the building, right? Like I have to pull money from this to pay this person or that person. And they have to, get some supplies, get this, get that. Someone needs a jacket, someone, needs field trip money, someone needs, some resources for their classroom, right? So That's huge. Like, and they have to know how to balance that budget, know how to spend the money wisely, not be wasteful with the money. Also, they have to know instruction. They have to know curriculum. They have to know multi-grade levels of instruction and curriculum and subject areas. So that is a very hard thing to do. So definitely that's something they have to be really experts. They have to be teacher leaders, right? Also, they have to hold people accountable. And that's a hard thing to do because, adult learners are very hard to teach. Some people say that doctors make the worst patients. Oh, teachers sometimes, and people in education realm, it's a hard thing to teach them. It's very hard to get through to them. So, ed leaders, they have many hats, just like teachers. It's also a thankless job. It's a thankless job. You get the smiles, you get the hugs from kids, and those things warm your heart. But oftentimes you have to discipline people, right? So you have to hold people accountable, and you have to make those hard decisions, have those hard conversations with teachers and staff, and you have to put on that persona of like, you better listen to me, right? And that's hard to do, and you won't get thanked for doing that, right? And pushing people to be better. And obviously this is all for children, right? And it's supposed to be for the children. They're under lots of stress and scrutiny. They have to raise scores constantly. People throw things at them all the time. And that's a very hard thing to manage. Also, leading personnel, hiring people, organizing spaces, making the environment safe and loving for people to want to come to work, right? And want to stay there. Also, they're constantly push to drive data in their buildings, right? So they have to, like I was saying before, they have to raise scores. That's tied to a lot of things, whether or not they're seen as a good admin or a good education leader, right? Also, they have to do a lot of conflict resolution. My goodness. I mean, if so-and-so doesn't like so-and-so, this assistant doesn't like this, or the teacher doesn't get along with the other teacher, they have to, and I didn't even talk about the kids yet, right? The kids are fighting. The kids are, you have to do suspension or restorative practices or just a strong talking to, right? You're constantly doing a lot of conflict resolution. You have to be mediators for different people in the building because people may not get along, or you may have to delegate responsibility, right? And you have to please different people. Some people don't like to, some admin or education leaders, they're like, oh, I am who I am, and I'm not going to please everyone, right? So that's fine. But also you have to be able to move adults so that they can move children. You have to, it's a very delicate political game that you have to play in schools to be an educational leader. Also, you have to be very organized and structured. To be a very good education leader, you have to be organized and structured and know your school in and out. Know the qualities of your staff, know the strengths, know their areas of need, right? You have to foresee conflicts and mediate them, right? So you have to, things are going to come out the woodworks, and then you can't, you aren't prepared for that, but you have to then foresee certain things happening so you can prevent that from happening. Also, they just do so much. They do so much, and it's a thankless job, and they need to be paid more. And I said this in a I love, why I love teacher video. They need to be paid more. Everyone in education needs to get double the amount of money, hands down. They need to be paid more. Yes, the superintendents, yes, the principals, yes, the APs. People are like, oh, they already make this amount of money. Trust me, they are doing the same amount or just as much or even more than a CEO of Coca-Cola, the CEO of McDonald's, the CEO of Starbucks. They're doing the same amount of work or even more, because you know what? They have the lives of children in their hands, and that should be the utmost priority in this country. Please, they need more support. They need more support, they need more resources, they need more bodies in those rooms and in the buildings to help teach children. They need more money. You cannot close gaps if you have the education debt in this country, the socio-political debt, the economic debt, the historical debt that is owed to different people that have been disenfranchised for centuries in this country. They need more money for the poor, right? Right. You can't close gaps in children if their bellies are unfed, if they don't have resources in the room, if they don't have small group instruction, which means they need to have smaller class sizes, right? They need to have more spaces to hold small class sizes, right? So these people need more support. Education leaders do a lot in classrooms, and they need to be supported and funded and thanked more, right? Thank you so much for coming here to listen to me about why I love education leaders. And please like, share, and subscribe, and come back for another video where we're going to be talking about education research, all things education research, different topics. This channel is for teachers, it's for parents, it's for kids, students, it's for policymakers, it's for admin, it's for education leaders, it's for the Department of Education, the Secretary of Education, all that, right? So please come back and listen to my thoughts, because I have tons of experience. I've been in education for decades. I've held many hats. I am a professor at different colleges, also education consultant, have been an educator for adults, also children. I've taught in multiple countries, multiple states in America. So I definitely have a wide range of experience, and please come back. We're going to be talking lots about education research. All right, thank you so much for coming here. All right, bye.